Hello PSIR students, today we are going to discuss a very important thinker, Hannah Arendt. She was a Jew lady, she lived in Germany, but as you know, Nazi Germany prosecuted Jews, minority Jews to polarize majority Christians by using Nazism, fascism. So she became refugees in many countries. Lastly, she went to US and settled there. So she had very bad experience as being refugee. So she claimed that nation states only do lip service for human rights. Basically they favor and prefer citizens' rights because citizens are voters and taxpayers. All human beings are not. So she was very much critical of the modern concept of human rights, which was acknowledged by United Nations Charter, latter Universal Declaration, latter covenants. So she was in the very eventful period. She witnessed pre-World War, First World War situation, World War I, interwar period, fascism, Nazism. Then she also witnessed Second World War and Cold War and behavioralism. And that was shaping her thoughts. So she is different from traditional thought. She is called idiosyncratic thinker, that is out of box thinker. Most of the political thinkers start with human nature, but Hannah Arendt starts with human condition, as she believed in plurality. Partly there are reflections of communitarianism in her thought, deliberative democracy in her thought. Individual's private endeavor will get its best manifestation in public sphere, in political sphere. So, political sphere is the most important sphere of human activity. She categorized three kinds of action: labor, which is biological for survival, like economic activity for bread and butter, reproduction. Labor is biological. Work is social, which is better than labor. But still, in work which is social, the worker is attached with the final end or final objective, is bound by that, cannot go beyond that. But action is political, and that has immense potential of improvising one's private individual or one's private individual's effort. Because whatever we pursue as a rational individual will get better, will be improvised. Our understanding will expand in group. So she talked about plurality. So sometimes she is also to be called champion of deliberative democracy. So action is political. She claimed that vita activia is more important than vita contemplatia. Means Marx is right when he says action is more important than just the thought. But Marx is wrong when he talks about economic determinism. Because if the things are determined, then the sky will not be the limit. For achieving something higher, you need plurality, you need group, you need deliberations, you need freedom. And in that freedom, plurality and action with freedom and plurality will be best. And her methodology is not traditional. She used phenomenology, that experience based applied knowledge, not only knowledge. So experience based applied knowledge is more potent in resolving the political problems, and this is the reason why she used the word phenomenology or method phenomenology. And Eichmann, who was commander of Hitler, who mercilessly killed lakhs of people on the order of his boss, and the Israeli intelligence agents caught him from Argentina. He was brought back to Israel. He faced trial and was hanged later because he was charged for genocide. So Hannah Arendt, still being Jew, claimed that thoughtlessness was the evil. Means no thought is evil or dangerous. It's thoughtlessness, lack of thinking, lack of judgment, lack of thinking, lack of judgment, lack of experience-based applied knowledge. Because Eichmann was a bright student, he was a good commander, he was a disciplined soldier, he was a very successful person. But he had no remorse. Because he just claimed during trial that I was following the orders of my boss. My boss said, killed. I just killed. I have no remorse. That what Hannah Arendt focused. That evil which is prototype, evil which is doing the work in a robotic manner, and evil is thoughtlessness, lack of judgment, lack of thinking, lack of the experience based applied knowledge, what is the consequence of my action. So that is the reason why she claimed banality of evil, that evil is what? Prototype, what is mechanistic, lack of thinking. So Hannah Arendt, she first opposed most of the developments of modernity, because most of the developments of modernity resulted into total wars of First World War and Second World War and fascism. So she opposed totalitarian form of government, that is total control of a state based on ideology, be it fascism, be it Nazism, or be it Soviet socialism, that were totalitarian. Where is individual there? Even in ideology, social movement, the individual freedom is lost. So she favored individual freedom, and no ideology, no groupings, no government, no nation, no social movement, and only modernity with knowledge will not do. So she opposed most of the modern developments, be it fascism, be it Nazism, be it excessive instrumental rationality, be it excessive capitalism, excessive nationalism, aggressive nationalism, be it social movement, be it behavioralism after Second World War. That we cannot search for prototype uniformity in the behavior of the political actor, because human behavior is quite complex. It's not like objects that will follow the rule of Newton for gravitation. Human behavior is quite complex. So she opposed behavioralism also, that emerged in US after Second World War. So she opposed most of the things which developed in modern period, like political ideology, like social movement, like total control of the state, like excessive aggressive nationalism in interwar periods, where what we see, the prosecution of Jews, targeting minority Jews, the concept of human rights, the very basis of international governance in UN, the human rights, only nation states do lip service, they don't do concrete service. Then human condition, she also talked about that how men lives on planet, not man lives on planet, and how the human condition will shape one's inclination, one's behavior, one's preferences, one's values, one's achievement. Everything is determined based on human condition. So she put the action is very, very important, because action is political, and in political sphere, in public sphere, in public realm, your understanding of rationally calculated things will be expanded and enriched and would be further upgraded. And lastly, she talked about the use of power. She said power is inversely proportional to violence. Power is in the group which works in concert, while state exercises coercive power, which is not power, which is violence. So power is completely dissociated from the concept of violence. Violence involves coercion, compulsory obedience, while power is authority, which involves willing obedience. She talked about power too, or concept of empowerment like Gandhi. That a group which works in concert, which is having coordination, cooperation, teamwork, a spirit of moving together, that is having power. So group is having power, society is having power, not the state. So this is quite unique concept of power, that power is one which is credible, power is one which is backed by authority, power is one which is legitimate, power is one where there is willing obedience, power is one where there is empowerment. Where there is empowerment, the weaker will himself will do away with the incapacities and disabilities attached with him. So in a nutshell, this is the concept of Hannah Arendt. There are so many other things, like she praised American Revolution over French Revolution, because French Revolution was reversed by the leaders of the French Revolution. It is said that Napoleon was the byproduct of French Revolution, but he killed revolution. यानी नेपोलियन क्रांति पुत्र होते हुए भी नेपोलियन ने क्रांति का गला घोंट दिया. And but American Revolution achieved things like human rights. Although later she criticized human rights, but at that point of time, republicanism, separation of powers, democracy, natural rights, inalienable rights, separation of power, presidential form of government, federalism, first written constitution, and so on, civil liberties, right of self-determination. So these are the big achievements of American Revolution, which gradually promoted democracy in neighboring South American countries. Simon Bolivar led revolutions in South American countries, taking inspiration from American Revolution. So Simon Bolivar is also called second George Washington of South America. Similarly, the American Revolution in fact inspired French Revolution as well, because what we see that American Revolution took place in 1776 while French Revolution took place in 1789. American Revolution gradually achieved, peacefully achieved and expanded democracy, while French Revolution after some time feudal elements and dictatorship and Napoleonic wars and continental policy and hardships of the people and loss of international peace, that continued after French Revolution. So Hannah Arendt praised American Revolution more important than French Revolution. So there are so many thoughts within Hannah Arendt, and we need to understand that she sometimes called communitarian, sometimes called this champion of deliberative democracy. But Hannah Arendt cannot be put in any category like liberal thinker or organic thinker or divine thinker or welfare state thinker or likes. She is idiosyncratic, out of box thinker. So in brief, that's it for today. Thank you.